Hey guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, my name is Miriam, and thank you so much for clicking on my video. Don't forget to subscribe and like below. I'll actually give you guys some time to do that right now. Go ahead. Today's video is going to be all about body types. What kind of body type are you? How to dress your body type, and also how to overcome challenges with dressing for your body type. This is actually going to be a two-part series. The first part today is going to be all about body types, the different kinds of body types as I just mentioned. The second part is going to be talking about how I dress my body type. So I really wanted to do an informative video before I talk about like my body type. So that's going to be this video, and then the next video that I release maybe in a week or two is going to be how I dress my body type, which is the rectangle figure. And yeah, let's just jump right into the video. Before we even get into how to differentiate which body type you are, let's go into the three things that people are looking for in terms of dressing their body types. Essentially, it's the ABCs. So A, what are you trying to accentuate, right? So are you trying to accentuate your boobs? Are you trying to accentuate the fact that you have a small waist, wide hips, whatever it may be? What are you trying to accentuate, right? Second would be, what are you trying to balance out? So you might have a smaller figure on the top. Are you trying to balance that out with your wide hips? If you have a heavier top, are you trying to balance it out with your smaller legs? Like, what are you trying to balance out, and what would you want for people to see? And third, what are you trying to conceal? Are you trying to conceal that you have larger boobs? Are you trying to conceal that you have a larger butt? Like, what exactly are you trying to hide or cover up? Right? So first, let's address what kind of body types are out there. There are probably several others, but in this video, I'm only going to talk about the common 5. So the first one would be the hourglass shape, or the Coca-Cola body. The second one would be the pear or triangle shape. The third would be the inverted triangle or top-heavy shape. I hate saying that. The fourth would be the rectangle or straight body type, and the fifth would be the round body type. So number 1 on the list would be the hourglass shape or Coca-Cola shape. So I'm going to just insert a picture right here of what an hourglass shape is, so you guys can get a better picture or better idea of what an hourglass shape is. This is the most common shape that you'll see on social media, especially like the Instagram baddies, like this one, and also the pear shape. But let's start off with the Coca-Cola shape. So this is somebody who has proportionate shape on the top and bottom, but has a super small waist. And what I mean by that is somebody who has a larger top, so like maybe their boobs are bigger and their shoulders are a little bit wider, but the width of their body type is equivalent to the bottom half of their body. So that's somebody who has wide hips, maybe big boobs, but a super small waist, right? So in this case, they're probably trying to accentuate the fact that they have bigger boobs and wider hips, but then balance those two out with the clothing that they wear. And so most of the time, they probably want to wear more fitted clothes so that they can show off, you know, maybe their waist or maybe their hips or their butt or whatever the case is. But for the most part, I would say that they're trying to accentuate either their hips or their boobs, and then also accentuate the fact that they have a really small waist. Another thing sometimes people want to conceal when they have an hourglass shape is maybe their bust, because I know a lot of people who have an hourglass shape have a bigger bust, and it can be tough to wear clothes with a bigger bust. So brands like Fashion Nova have really capitalized on the fact that they sell stretchy clothes, because this is perfect for somebody who has an hourglass shape or a pear shape, because they really need tight clothes. So clothes that an hourglass shaped person can wear will be something more fitted. So maybe a midi dress that's polyester or spandex, so that way it can fit and form to their body. Or maybe a crop top, maybe an oversized shirt with a cinched in belt or a cinched in waist on the dress. You know, things like that, so that way you can kind of accentuate what you have. So somebody with an hourglass shape will probably already have that balance key that I mentioned earlier, but sometimes they have to actually be careful with the things that they wear, because if they're wearing something that's too big on the top, it might become unproportionate because they're already balanced. So moving forward to the pear or triangle shape, this is somebody who has a smaller top, but super wide hips. So some of the characteristics of somebody who's a pear shape is curvy hips, thick thighs, full bottom, would be the pear shaped body type. So if you're somebody who's kind of thinking about, okay, which shape am I? So that will be something that you will be able to characterize yourself as having a triangle body shape. Somebody who's a triangle shape probably has difficulty finding clothes that match in terms of their proportions. So sometimes people who have a triangle shape will buy like a size 2 top and then a size 8 bottom, because they can't find things that are the same size because their bodies are disproportionate. It's not a bad thing. I actually think it's super cute. But that's somebody who would have a triangle shape. Something that you can wear to balance out your body type as a triangle figure is maybe an overdone shirt. So maybe a shirt with like huge puff sleeves, or an off the shoulder top that has like some kind of ruffles or something to overdo kind of your shoulder area and your breast area. So I would recommend that for somebody who is a triangle shape so that they can balance out the top and the bottom, but still wear fitted pants so that way you're not overdoing the bottom as well. I know sometimes when you're wearing like wide leg pants, it also increases the size of the bottom half of your body. But if you want that look, then go for it. But if you're trying to go for like a more balanced look, then I would recommend wearing something that's more big on the top so that way you can kind of balance out the top and the bottom. So moving forward to the less talked about body types. So the next one is rectangle. That is me. I am so a rectangle shape, and it's so hard for me to find clothes, but I do my best. So I'm gonna insert a picture here of what a rectangle shape would look like. So like I mentioned earlier, this is actually gonna be a two-part series. So this video is gonna be basically talking about all of the different body types, but my next video, which is the part 2, will be talking about how I dress my body type. So if you are a rectangle shape, that video will be really, really beneficial to you because I'll be going into detail about the kinds of materials that I look for, the kinds of basically everything that I look for. So you'll have like some tea. So somebody who has a straight figure has weight that's evenly distributed throughout their entire body, and that is me to a T. Like my waist is really straight. My hips are pretty much the same width as my hips. Like everything is like straight. I have a little bit of curves like on my hip area. It's a little bit, but I think it's just because I have thick thighs. But like if I was like super skinny, like I would really be a rectangle. But that's besides the point. So somebody who has my body type, I would recommend wearing things that have like a lot of volume to it. And like if you, in my next video, you'll see that I'll wear like a lot of things that have like ruffles around the shoulder area, or like a bigger skirt, or what else do I wear? I wear like a lot of like wide leg pants, fitted shirts, things to kind of like balance off depending on what kind of shape you're going for. And I think like the rectangle shape is kind of a really good one because you can really play with what you want. Like if you really wanted to have an hourglass shape, for example, I could find like a really oversized shirt and then kind of cinch it in with the belt, and it will look like I have an hourglass shape, right? Or if I wanted to, I could wear a really small shirt, like a fitted shirt like this one. Well, I'm wearing a cardigan today, but I could wear like a fitted cardigan with oversized pants to make it look like I have a pear shape. Like you really have a lot of leeway with a rectangle shape, but it's a little bit hard because sometimes when you're wearing like a fitted dress with no kind of extraness to it, you can really see the fact that you're a rectangle shape. It's the only downside, but you know, don't worry. We still cute, we still in there, we still in there. So I'm gonna actually show you guys exactly the way that I dress in my next video. I just really want this to be a really informative video. So that's somebody who has a rectangle shape. Is somebody whose body type is pretty much straight all the way down. Their body is their weight is evenly distributed, and pretty much, yeah. Next, moving on, we have the inverted triangle. So this is somebody who would be considered top heavy, and I hate saying that because I think it's so rude and mean. So somebody with a upside down triangle shape would probably be somebody who has most of their weight is distributed on the top half of their body, and that's why people call them top heavy, and I just hate that word. But it could be with them having wider shoulders and a bigger boobs, to having like a more straight waist or a bigger waist. Just more weight is distributed on their top half, so it's like evenly distributed on the top half, but it's mostly on their top half. So you'll see that the top half of their body is just wider or bigger than the bottom half of their body. For somebody who has that kind of body type, I would recommend wearing things that are fitted on the top but then more wide on the bottom to kind of give you that proportion and balance that you're looking for. So if you were to refer to the ABCs, so 1, you want to probably accentuate your boobs because you probably have really nice boobs. B, you probably want to balance out your legs to your top half. So kind of balancing out, that would be maybe wide leg pants, or like if you're going for more like a casual look, let's say you're wearing biker shorts, probably wear a longer biker short, not a shorter one, because if you're wearing a shorter one, you'll probably be able to see more of the fact that you have smaller legs. So I would recommend wearing the ones that kind of go like mid thigh, not like the short ones. Let's say you wanted to wear like joggers, for example. Make sure that they're like cute baggy joggers so that it can give you a little bit more weight per se on your bottom half. And accentuate what you have. I mean, if you have bigger boobs, like show them off. Like, I mean, you know what I mean? Like if you have things that you want to show off on the top, do that. But I would just recommend trying to find some volume at the bottom. So for me, I love like A-line skirts, and a lot of people, I don't know why nowadays, like they feel like the less clothing that you wear, the more like appealing you are to the eye. Like, and to me, that's not really what it is anymore. Like I feel like you can really sex it up as much as you want to depending on what you wear. So for somebody who has an inverted triangle shape, I would recommend wearing like satin skirts, and that kind of would hide pretty much a little bit past your knee. If you really don't like your legs, like if you're really trying to conceal your legs, like I would recommend wearing like a longer skirt, or like wear a midi dress that's fitted but hits your ankles, or has some kind of like ruffle at the bottom so that you can kind of balance that out. So I mean, you can do a lot, just maybe not wear something that's so fitted on your legs to the point where you can really see that that difference, but just try to balance it as much as possible. I would definitely recommend wearing something that's a little bit bigger on the bottom and smaller at the top. We have the round shape. This is number 5. This is somebody who has a rounder shape, so basically weight is distributed pretty much everywhere. They might have a larger breast, but their waist is a lot wider than other kind of body types. They have wider hips, their thighs are really thick, and just all around just maybe a heavier body type, which is okay. But in this body type, you really want to be careful with what you're choosing in terms of clothing. You don't want to wear things that are overly baggy, because then it will make you look bigger than you actually are. I would kind of recommend wearing things that are a little bit fitted, but also right for your body type, right? If you know that if you wear a fitted dress, maybe your stomach will poke out a little bit more, and it's just not something that you want, then wear a looser top and then wear tighter bottoms. Like, you can kind of play it as you want to, the round body type, because you just want to make sure that the only thing you're not doing is making yourself look larger than you are. And if that's something that you want to do, that's awesome. You know what I mean? So just kind of choose what you want to do versus what you don't want to do. So somebody with a round shape, maybe you want to wear popsicle color, maybe you want to wear black. Do you? I would stray away from white, because I think white and like super light colors just kind of point out everything that you can possibly see. Like, it's just too much. Like, so I would recommend wearing a lot of maybe black. I love wearing black, even though I'm a rectangle figure. I love wearing black because it kind of hides a lot of things. And for somebody who has probably a round body type, maybe you're trying to hide your stomach, and I would recommend wearing black for that. If not, wear something that is a little bit more flowy but not too oversized, because you don't want to look bigger than you actually are. And that's for all body types, unless that's the look that you're going for, and that's completely fine. So that's all I have for you guys today. Don't forget to stay tuned for my second part of this video, so how I dress my body type, which is a rectangle figure. I'm going to be showing you guys actual items that I wear on a daily basis, things that I don't like to wear, what kind of materials that I like, what sizes I buy, and all of that. I'm actually going to be telling you guys my measurements, which is kind of like, I know that's a little bit intrusive, but I'm gonna show you guys my measurements, because I feel like that will really give you guys a really good idea of what kind of body type I am. So stay tuned for that video, and thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and like below. Leave any comments below. Tell me what kind of body type you are. I would love to know. How do you dress your body type? Was this video helpful in any sort? And just let me know. So stay tuned for my next video, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.